Opening with the queen's pawn controls the center and usually leads to a more positional development of the pieces. The Indian game begins by controlling the important e4 square with the knight, rather than a pawn. c4 builds a strong center by controlling the important d5 square and creates a square for the knight to come to c3 without blocking the c-pawn. e6 opens up a line for the dark-squared bishop and prepares to castle quickly, while preparing to push a pawn to d5 and recapture with a pawn if captured. Knight c3 develops the knight to fight for the e4 square and to control d5. In the Nimzo-Indian defense, bishop b4 pins the knight on c3, preventing it from moving or protecting e4, and threatens to trade, disrupting white's pawns after b takes c3. e3 supports the d4 pawn and allows the light-squared bishop and queen to develop. c5 attacks the d4 pawn, defends the bishop on b4, and prepares to develop the knight to c6 behind the c-pawn. This kicks a bishop. This forces the opponent to double pawns. Recaptures. b6 opens the diagonal for the bishop to develop to a6 or b7, developing the bishop and increasing influence in the center. This threatens to win a rook by trapping a piece. This prevents the opponent from being able to win a rook by trapping a piece, developing the knight and increasing influence in the center. White develops the knight and attacks the center. This is not the right idea. Castling to the same side of the board is a more cautious approach. This is the strongest option. Very precise. This threatens to force an isolated pawn. White's knight has moved to a square with greater activity and control. This overlooks an opportunity to force a weak, isolated pawn. Takes back. Now white can't stop black from winning a pawn if they make the right moves. This misses an opportunity to create a pawn chain. This is the way to win a pawn. A solid choice. Advancing the pawns in front of the king can compromise the king's safety. This overlooks an opportunity to develop a queen off its starting square. This is the only move that works. Right on target. This threatens to win a rook through a fork. This prevents the opponent from being able to win a rook through a fork. The game is still close to equal, but black lost their advantage. This is the only good move. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. This is the only move that works. After all, this is an equal trade. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. This is the strongest option. This evades the check from the queen. This is the only good move. Moving the bishop gives white more flexibility in the middle game. This gives away a free rook. That rook was free for the taking. This wins a bishop. This threatens to force eventual checkmate. This loses a queen. This is the way to win a queen. This steps away from the checking rook. This wins a queen. This threatens to force eventual checkmate. This leads to losing a queen. This is the way to win a queen.